In this video, I'd like to talk about motivation, how to maintain motivation as a perfectionist. And I'd like to start off by sharing a quick story. I've actually been very sick recently. Reason I was sick is I became overwhelmed, right? And I've said just too much on my plate. If you've been following me on Instagram for a while, you've noticed that I've started to do something else, which was a complete distraction. I'm also doing business coaching on the side, and I'm growing a tech company. Just doing one of these three things requires full focus. And if I do all three, I obviously can't do either of them properly. And what I'm wanting to talk about in this video, it has to do something with motivation, because if you know how to properly prioritize, you are going to have more energy, and by that nature, you are going to feel more motivated. And so it's really about what one of my teachers told me is the focus on key or focus on critical drivers. To do that, you need to differentiate between nice to have versus mandatory things. And the easiest way to do this, I want you guys to have something tangible walking away from this video. So I'm going to give you a little exercise, and it's called units of time. So this is something that I like to do maybe a couple of times a year, exactly when I feel overwhelmed with a lot of maintenance, or time goes by and I'm being busy, but I'm not actually coming closer to my vision. So what I do, every 30 minutes, I set an alarm and I write down what I'm doing. And I'm going to give you a very awkward and personal example that I've done last year, the end of last year. I actually started on Saturday and I went on to track it until Monday. That's the first part. And you'll notice that when I was working on my, the big task, the task that push the needle, that move the needle forward, I would mark it as green. Likewise, when I was, procrastinating or not doing anything conducive, I would actually mark it as red. And all the other tasks like personal hygiene or just maintenance or, health related tasks, I would just leave at white. And then what I could do, what I recommend you guys do, and you can download these templates below this video, is you have something called a power grid. And you basically group these tasks into different categories based on the value that they give you. And you'll notice that, for example, some of them actually make you lose value, right? Some of them actually make you lose money. Drinking alcohol, smoking weed, eating fast food, hanging out with negative people, worrying what people think of you, avoiding problems that need fixing, breaking promises, doing stupid stuff. And if you start putting things here, so for example, coding checkout, that is half an hour times 4, so 1 hour, 2 hours. That is building systems. I think it's right here, creating and improving your products, hours 2, right? So you gotta be creative with this. Obviously, you can work a little bit around these names if you can't fit into, but just use common sense and try to put in these activities, and it should give you a total yield. By the way, I have to give credits to Mr. Sam Ovens for giving me that sheet in one of his earlier coaching programs that I bought, I guess, 6 years ago, and it's been really life-changing. So this is going to give you the clarity. This is going to give you a way to remove overwhelm. And if you remove overwhelm, you're going to be more energized, you're going to see things clearly, and you're going to have more motivation. Another part to motivation is really understanding why you want to do things. So instead of just setting the goal, ask yourself, why do you want to do this? And don't just ask yourself why once. There is a great concept, the 7 layers of why. In a nutshell, you should ask yourself why at least 7 times. If you want to go to the gym, why? Okay, and then you give yourself an answer. Why? Why, and why? The idea behind it is that once you are very clear on why, and the actual core why that is associated perhaps to your core emotions and something that is way more important than, buying a new phone or just hitting the gym once, you are intrinsically going to be motivated instead of trying to derive motivation from these surface level things. And that core motivation is typically something that lasts more. Having clear goals help, So the goal that is not clear enough, as my teacher used to say, is a fantasy. So you have to define a yellow brick road from where you are right now into where you want to be. Instead of setting a big goal, I want to make $1 million, chunk it down to the specific thing that you need to do today, right now, that is going to give you 0.1%. It is going to get you 0.1% closer to that goal. Because chances are, if you've never made $1 million, you don't know how to make $1 million. But you know the next step, oh, maybe I can get a book on business. Okay, that is a great, fantastic step. And that is very clear and it's easier, and you are not going to be feeling overwhelmed if you just say, I want to read 10 pages of a book on how to make money every single day. Which brings me to the final point of this video. So if you cannot commit to goals, commit to the process. For example, instead of saying, well, I want to be energized, that is a goal and that is very abstract. Commit to a process. So you want to wake up 80% of the month at the same time. Instead of saying, well, I want to read so many books. Commit to the process. I want to make sure to read 10 pages or just 5 pages if you're very busy every single day. And then something that personally helped me is also commit to people. So make a promise to someone you love. If you have a great relationship with your parents, make a promise. Like, Mom, I want to buy you a house. I want to buy you a car. If you make a promise to someone you love, it's going to keep you accountable and it's going to give you, I guess, a different flavor to motivation, because suddenly it's not so egoistic and it's also now about someone else that you care about. Do this, profit, and I will see you in the next video. Check out the links below for the templates, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's quick talk. Thank you.